Hello, welcome to my channel. It's officially March wrap-up time, which is insane. I feel like I was just recording my February wrap-up, but also at the same time, like some of these books at the beginning of the wrap-up, I'm like, that felt like forever ago. So that's a weird feeling. But to start off, I did read He Who Ignites the Flame. She has this listed here as book number 2.5, but I was thinking it was like book 3. So I don't know where she's going with that, but it is like kind of a novella size. This is a part of the series He Who Ignites the Flame. I'm not sure if that's what the actual series is called, but that's the first book's name. I did really enjoy this one. I did give it 3 stars just because it takes place like I think centuries before the first and second book do. To give you a little bit of background on these 2 characters, which are not the main characters in the first 2 books. So because of that, I wasn't super like connected and invested because I love the plot and the characters from the first book. However, this book it's very sad. Like the ending part of this is so sad. You know what's coming from like knowing a little bit of the history from the first 2 books and then actually like going through it and then what like more details on what happened at the end of this hurt my heart so bad. But I'm ready for the next book for more explanation and also more heartache because we also didn't get like up to the point of what happens in the second book. So I can't really talk about it because so many spoilers in this book for the first 2, but I highly recommend this series. I love it so much. Next up, I read book 2 in the Devil's Night series. This one's Hideaway, and I gave it 4 stars. I am still filming a reading vlog on this series. I did pause it to film a video that's coming up after this one, but I'm going back to it soon, so I'm very excited for this. But I did really like this one. It took me a while to like realize that we were following different characters. Like I thought the series was following like the same characters, and I thought it was like a whole Why Choose situation, and that every book was gonna be like, I don't know, more of a story about one guy. But no, they all have their own couples and their own books, but it's still good. I just for some reason thought that that's what the series was. But like I said, I still do really like this. I love the plot of this one, and that the little backstory you get to Damon is insane. I'm very excited for his book and to see how this man redeems himself. Like how. Next, I did my reread for Iron Flame. I was so nervous to do this because I didn't enjoy this one too much my first time reading it. Just the middle part of it felt super flat for me. Like it was so boring. The whole time I was comparing it to Fourth Wing, which is just on a different level from Fourth Wing. Like there's just so much more explanation, so much more going on. But for some reason, like the middle part of this, the first time I read it, felt like it dragged on for years. But this time I listened to the audiobook, and I don't know if it's just because I was rereading it and I know what to expect, or if it was the audiobook, but that part that I felt dragged did not drag at all. Like I swear it flew by. So I give this one 5 stars the second time around. I was super excited to get into Onyx Storm, and I'm super glad I reread these 2 books because I love them so much. Next, I read the 3rd and final book in the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. Guys, this book, 5 stars. 5 stars. It was so good. For a little rundown, I do have the other 2 books in reading vlogs, but the first book I really liked it. Like the plot was super good. Second book I enjoyed it, but it was This book was perfect. It was great in like the plot, the romance, the everything about this book was so good. This trilogy is one that I highly recommend. Next up, I was not expecting to read this book this month. I did go out to Barnes & Noble one day and just got a bunch of books, you know, to make myself happy. And this book was one of them because one of my friends recently read it, and like from her review I was like, oh, she liked it, the cover's cute. And I got there and I was like, oh wow, the edges are really cute, I'm gonna get it. And I read the back and I was like, what does that mean? So I went into it completely blind, and that is Kiss of the Basilisk. That word, I think I'm saying it right. Anyways, I went into this one not really knowing what it was gonna be about. This book was insane. That is literally all I can tell you. I would read this at home, read it at work, and then I would go to my coworkers, tell them what just happened, and they would just be like, what? This book was just so unhinged, but honestly, I loved it. The plot was just, I could never guess what was coming next. Like something would happen and I would just be like, yeah, I could never see that coming. However, my coworker was like, minus the sex, this book feels like something that I would dream up when I was 8 years old, and I was like, you know, fair enough. But like I said, I did enjoy it. I gave it 5 stars.
Sorry to butt in, but I'm editing, and I meant to say I gave it 4 stars, not 5 stars.
And this is, side note, one of my buddies opened a bookstore, and this is her first like book club pick, so I read it for that. That's why I wasn't expecting. But like when she announced that this was the book, I was like, oh wow, I just got this like 2 days ago. That's perfect. So I read it for that, and the book club is next week. I'm super excited for it. But oh wow, this book is crazy, but it kept me so interested. I will not lie, like it was just so, I could have never told you what I guessed was gonna come next. This was insane. Next up, this book, I don't have a physical copy. I read it on my Kindle, but that was inspired by Kiss of the Basilisk. I was just looking at random weird books because I wanted to make my coworker laugh because he was just like, what is this? So I did read Get in My Swamp and Ogre Romance. I'm not sure who it's by. I don't have my Kindle on me. I did give that book 1 star. I mean, I read it in one night. It was funny. And I got to highlight a bunch of things and read it to my coworker, and he was like, what is this? So I read it just for fun, but I did give it 1 star because it wasn't a great book, but it was very funny. And I lied, I actually finished this before I read Get in My Swamp, but Elsie Silver is one of my favorite authors ever. I love her so much. I love all of her books so much. They are all like 4 to 5 stars for me. This book was a 4.5 star for me. I just wasn't getting the crazy like 5-star feeling from this, but it was so good. I was really looking forward to this couple. I was really intrigued on why in the past books like they got married but seemed to hate each other. So I did like the backstory for that. I also loved the kid in this book, and I loved like their story of how they came together and how, I don't know, I just love like the grief aspect of this. I didn't like love that, but like it was just, I felt like it was very, very, very well done, very well written, and really well like woven into this book. The only thing I wasn't like super crazy about, not that I didn't not like it, but I felt like it was really goofy, was that he is like a wrestler and he has like a whole storyline. Like all of their fights are fake and totally planned out, which I found a little funny. Is a little goofy. Not that I didn't like it, like I said, it was just a goofy part of this where I was like, what is this? But again, like I said, 4.5 stars. She's already announced the next book, which I'm so excited for. I love everything she writes so much. Next up, again, I don't have this book with me, but I read The Butcher. Again, I don't know the author, don't have my Kindle with me. It's a part of the Fifth Republic series, I know that, so whoever wrote that is by her. This book was actually chosen for me by my friend, which I'm gonna get into later on in this video. She picked my whole April TBR, and I just got a head start on that book. But I did DNF it. I was not super crazy about the plot or anything going on in the book, so I just decided to DNF it because I really just didn't care, to be honest. Next up, I finished this one yesterday and I was sobbing, and it is in a part of my reading vlog coming up next. I read Onyx Storm. This was a very, 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 very highly anticipated new release for this month, for this year. I loved it. I did settle on a 4.5 star because I wasn't getting the 5-star feeling the whole time, but I loved the plot. I love everything about this. The ending though, I was like rushing through it and I was like, wait, what just happened? So I did spiral into like theories and explanations, and now I'm just so stressed. That was like my theme for this whole book. I was just stressed the entire time. I was like, how are we gonna fix this? And then, oh, I can't say that. I can't say anything without spoiling anything. This book was insane. I need to just literally not think about it at all, out of sight, out of mind, until the next book comes out, because I don't know how to function. Also, I lied about the order again. I finished this before I finished The Butcher. This is the 3rd and final book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. And for a rundown, first book was 5 stars. I loved it so much. Second book, I think I gave it like a 1 or 2 star. I did not like it like at all. This book was solidly in the middle. Like it wasn't on the level of Butcher and Blackbird for me, but it wasn't bad. Like I did really like this. They are so cute. I love them together. I love Fiona and I love Rose. The only reason it wasn't like a higher rating for me, just because the plot for me was a little boring. Like there was stuff going on, but there felt like there wasn't anything going on, like if that makes sense. Like in Butcher and Blackbird, there's all these like competitions they're having, and there's so much going on. There was just a lot of stuff happening. And in that book, like there was little things happening, but it felt like it was just not much to me personally, but I did really like it. I'm not sure if I said this already, but I gave it a 3-star. Last but not least, again, I don't have this on me, but I read Aftershocks by Ruby Dixon, which is like book number 8.5. It's just a little novella that explains what happened, I think, in book 8. It's just like a little extra with all the characters. There's this big event that happened, and it was just a little extra dive in with all the characters where a lot of stuff happened for every single one of them. I did enjoy it. I didn't give it a rating just because it was a super short novella, and I feel like it's the perfect dive in after not reading the whole Ice Planet Barbarian series for a year. I'm reading them as they get published, and the next one did just get published, book 9, and I'm reading it right now, which actually brings me into the fact that I've today and tomorrow left in March, and I think I probably will finish, what is it called? Barbarian's Heart. I don't have the rating for that, so maybe I'll add in another clip if I finish it, or you could just look at my Goodreads. I'm not sure what I'll do, but I probably will finish that today or tomorrow, like I said, and then I don't think I'll finish another book by the time March is over, but I guess we will see. Future me jumping in here to talk about 3 things. 1, if you can hear it raining, I'm sorry, it kind of slowed down, so maybe you can't. 2, I'm sick, so again, I'm sorry, ignore my voice if you can hear the difference. 3rd, I did end up finishing 2 more books, so I just wanted to include them in this video so that they're all in the correct space. I did end up finishing Barbarian's Heart like I thought I would. This book is just super small, really easy to read. I do really recommend this series for like a palate cleanser. It's just so silly, so goofy, and it's such a good time. I did give this one 3 stars. Nothing like world changing, but it is super funny to me, and it's a great time. So I love the series. And last, for the month of March, I finished Zodiac Academy: The Awakening, which is the first book in this super long series. I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars, and I was not expecting to love it as much as I did because everybody always says, just push through the first book and the rest of the books make it worth it. But I literally, besides like the men in this book, that was the only thing not making this book perfect. But even with that, like, that makes me interested to see their redemption and how, you know, I'm sure we come to love all of them later on, so I'm really curious for that. But everything about this magic system, this university, this world, the characters, I love the 2 twin girls, the female main characters. I love it all, and I'm so curious to see, like, where this series takes us. Anyways, that's all from Future Me. And now that brings me into my April TBR, which my best friend did pick for me, and I picked hers for her. Starting off strong, she did pick The Butcher for me. I wrote it down on this piece of paper so I wouldn't forget since it's on the Kindle, and as I said, I already read that and I did DNF it, but I have high hopes for the rest of the books here. First up, she picked The Umber King. She was just going through, I have a list of every single book that I own but haven't read, and she was just scrolling through looking at it, and this is one she bought for me just to be nice. She got it for herself and then got it for me as well. She got me the first and second book, and she was like, yeah, read this one and then you can jump right into the second book. So it is beautiful. I believe this is the bookish box. It doesn't say it on here, but I do still have the film on it just until I read it. But I am really excited to get into this one. Next up, she picked The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. She really liked this book and wants me to start reading her books. And I have quite a few of her books, but haven't read them yet. So she thought this would be a good start for me. Next up, I picked this book for her, so she picked it for me so we could read it together. And that is Heavenly Bodies. I'm so excited for this book. I think this was on my March TBR and I didn't get to it, which is sad, but I'm glad she picked it because I do really want to get to this. It just sounds like something I'm going to love so much. I don't know much about it besides it's like a celestial romance. And like at the top here, the little blurb at the top says, a runaway TikTok sensation, Heavenly Bodies is the first book in a dazzling new romantic series that blends Greek mythology and shadow magic with a tantalizing enemies to lovers romance that will rewrite the stars. This sounds perfect. I'm so excited to read this. Next up, this will actually be my 3rd time rereading this book, but I picked it for her because it is one of my favorite dark romance books ever, and we're actually going to annotate it and swap it, and that is Haunting Adeline. I am very excited for this. I do love this book, and I love to reread it, and I am excited to annotate another copy. I did annotate my own copy when I read it my senior year. It's crazy. So I'm excited to go through it again and give it to her and see what she thinks. See her annotations on it, Very excited. Next up, this is another one of her like favorite authors, and she loved this book, and that is Out of the Woods. And I am going to be annotating this one and giving it to her. I'm very excited for this. This sounds like an author that I'll really love. And look, just the cover is so cute. All I know about this book is that this is a couple that's already together. I'm not sure if they like, I'm pretty sure they don't break up and they're just going through something together. I'm not sure. I haven't read a book like that where it's not like second chance romance, but they're still like together. So I am interested to read this and see how I feel about it, and I'm excited to start one of her books. Next up, she picked Trial of the Sun Queen. I'm very excited for this because I have this book and then the second book, so if I like it, I can go straight into that. I don't know much about this besides it's just trials, which I love, so I'm very excited for this. Last but not least, in books that she picked one of her favorite books that she's been trying to get me to read for a year, and that is Fall of Ruin and Wrath. I'm going to be annotating this one and giving it to her, as it is like one of her all-time favorite books. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I did try to read it a year ago. I just wasn't in the mood, so I put it down. But from what she says about it, it should be good. I'm excited. And then this is one that I added in. I really want to get to Lady of Darkness. This book has just been going around everywhere, and then the series after, the Legacy series, has just been blowing up. So this is a book that I really want to get to know what everybody's talking about. And I want to be obsessed with the series, so I added this one in. That wraps up my whole March wrap up and April TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm very excited to read all of these books, and I'm super happy about all the books I read this month. They were all super good. Stay tuned for my future videos. I have one coming up after this one, which I've been working on for like a month, so I'm very excited to get that posted. Also, if I have time this month, I really want to read the Devil's Night series and get back into that and finish that video up, because that's also been going for like 2 months now, so excited for that.